What's up, YouTube? And welcome back to TPT. My name is Photoshooty.
And my name is Necro.
Necro, this is going to be our first video together on this channel because you guys should know this is not only my channel, but also Necro's. So, this is our first video together. How exciting is that?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. And for our first video together, we got your deck profile from the Yoga Retro series from Format Library, which was, of course, the September 2011 format. But the format was, like I said in the other videos, Rises Toronto, so we had no Darkwood structure legal. And you went 5-2 and got 7th place with Zombies, which we both know is kind of your signature deck. I mean, if we look at your name, Necro, it becomes kind of
Yeah.
obvious. So let's talk about the deck. Why did you decide to play it? Uh, why you made certain choices. So let's first talk a bit about the tournament and about your matches and why you picked your deck.
Okay, so I picked the deck because it's my pet deck pretty much. I played this for many years, and I think it's actually reasonably strong in the format. I'm not afraid of anything besides agents. Agents is very bad matchup. Um, if you look at my side deck later, we'll see why. And yeah, that's pretty bad. And then GB, it's also a very bad matchup, but not many people play it. So I think the deck is well positioned against most other decks. You just have to play tight, and then yeah.
All right. Yeah, so like you said, it's your pet deck. So talk a bit about the tournament, about your matches, about any special things that happened.
So yeah, first round that was against Agent. The guy was late, so um, I went already up one game, and in the second quote unquote game, that wasn't that was pre-sideboard, obviously. It was very difficult for me that game. I had to go through double Christia and double Hyperion, and I eventually managed to um, put him in a position where he definitely where he draws Christia, and I know he will get back the Hyperion, and so I max C, and I draw two of that, and those two cards were very much needed because I went into Hades, stacked for Scrap Dragon, and was able to kill this board, and then I simply killed him when he drew a dead Christia.
So
So that was
good.
kind of weird, but yeah, I was kind of lucky. And then the second round, what was that? That was probably
The Dragon
second
deck?
round. Yeah, it was actually the Dragon deck. 1 second, I can look up the duel records. But the Dragon deck was actually very interesting. And yes, it was the Dragon deck. He just FTK'd me, actually, first game. Second game, I had. Yeah, there was the Dark Arm Dragon play. Yeah. He went Red Eyes Darkness Battle Dragon, and I was able to crash two monsters into it to drop that to destroy all his stuff, and he couldn't do anything about that. And then the third game, he won, but I don't recall how. But it's a very difficult matchup also. But the deck in my opinion, was kind of unknown before that. It's kind of a Disaster Dragon Dragunity turbo deck, like all these three terms slammed into one deck name. But yeah, it's in my opinion a very good deck. And the third round,
Yeah, what I have to say about this is it was kind of inspired by the Slash Gaming's list from Edison. He basically made the deck popular, or when thanks to him playing it, it got on the radar of other players in Edison, and um, the guy who piloted the deck piloted it for that specific reason. And it's probably kind of in a Darkwood situation where it does very well when no one is prepared for it. So n- I lost against it as well. We both know that. So I wasn't prepared for that matchup as well. So it's probably one of the reasons why the deck did so well. But anyway, uh, this is about your zombie deck.
yeah. Third round, I played against like some dark salvo deck, and I pretty much just beat him down with my floaters. It was actually very easy. The next round, so I was 2-1 after that, and the next round was against. Let me look that up. 1 second. Yeah, psychic plants actually. Um, yeah, he gave me a very hard time game one. He drew like 4 cards of librarian, but I was able to just come back and grind my way through. And yeah, last game of that match, I don't really remember. And in the next two actually were against heroes, and I won both 2-0. Yeah, I won every match 2-0 actually in that tournament. And last round I lost again against the Dragon deck. Like I said, very hard matchup. Um, it's not really possible to grind against this deck necessarily. You just have to fend off any attacks, and there's really no time to gain much card advantage, and to like you pretty much have to really stop him and then just finish the game in a couple of turns. And my deck really can't can't pressure the opponent
It
much.
takes
So
too long to kill, probably.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I played against the Dragon deck as well, and well, I played agents, but for you, it was the problem that you couldn't kill the deck fast enough. For me, the problem was I had no back row, so I couldn't stop him from going off. So we were by now kind of both at a different side of the medal, so that's why we probably did so bad against the deck. Just to mention that. Anyway, why? What would you change about your deck? Because I'm one of the people that knows your deck very well because we play a lot against each other in real life. So I saw a lot of changes like the Gale and the Pyramid Turtle going out and Pot of Aberrise main decked and now it's side decked. So is there anything that would change or do you think the build is now finalized and especially considering the side deck and like I see a lot of interesting cards like the Core Destroyer or the Gotham's Emergency Call or the one Fiendish Chain. So it kinda looks on first glance kinda random like a Vittorio Victor side deck. Um, Shout out to anyone who
From my
gets
deck
this
rather.
reference.
Yeah.
So is there anything?
So um, originally the deck had, because you mentioned the Gale, the Turtle, and the Avarice, because you know 37 cards were pretty much fixed. It was between those three cards the changes, or 38 rather. Um, And originally I started with the Turtle and Everrise, but then I realized that Gale is just way too good for multiple reasons. One, it kills Thunder King. It also kills pretty much every monster in the format, besides like Scrap Dragon, Trish, and BLS. But who cares? It's just this card kills everything. It's also nice that it's a level 3 tuner. And also what I like about this is the access to Armor Master, which is also very powerful, and then the Black Rose play, just Goblin Zombie, you have access to it through Book of Life and stuff, and then just normal summon Gale and blow up the board. So I think that Gale is very good in this deck. So I cut the Turtle for that, and I was losing way too many games because of damage. So what would happen is, I take a couple hits in the early game, I grind my way through, I go up like 2 cards, and then I just lose on damage. So the Pot of Avarice, in my opinion, was a little bit too greedy. It's not really necessary, especially if you know how to play the deck well, then your stuff is sufficient. You have literally 20 monsters in this deck. I don't really count the Maxis, but yeah, you have literally 20 monsters. You have also Double Book of Life. So the Pot of Arrows is not really necessary to finish the game. It's just to go up on cards. So I put the Turtle back in because that saves me a lot of damage actually and makes the deck way more consistent. Also, there's some really nice tricks with Turtle. Turtle makes Tragodia actually way, way better. And Chaos also. So yeah, so the advice went in the side deck for grindier matchups where I can take out, like, I don't know, like I can take out a Reaper or something and put in the Everrise. Or not even that. I would actually take out a Book of Life for the Everrise in grindier matches and just shuffling back the tour guides, resetting for Dark Arm Dragon, shuffling back the Kaises, even the Gale, and then draw 2 cards. That's just game against a lot of decks if you're already even or maybe ahead. So that's why the Everest is in the side. So to answer your initial question about what would I change, I would change nothing actually, besides 1 card, and that's the Gotham's Emergency Call I had in the side. I had that in the side because I followed a couple of Discord conversations, and people were very hyped up about Sabers because some had questions. Is it pre-routing change or rather?
Yeah, I
On
noticed that as
the
well.
So there were like 4 people, man, Sabers are insane. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to, cut some random card in that matchup and put in the Gothams and just blow them out. Maybe, uh, you know, actually 0 people entered the tournament with Sabers. So that was
Yeah, which is
bad.
crazy. Not even
Yeah.
Strawberry, for example, was the big Saber player. He actually played Naturia Man, Naturia like a madman. And yeah, we both talked about that before the tournament. So yeah, we both expected a lot of X Sabers. So the Gotham's Eco would be the only change. What would you play instead in the side deck? And are there a couple of reasons for like the random Thunder King and the triple leeching and the scapegoats is what the triple
Yeah.
leechings and the scapegoats is for, because that's probably kind of a special choice as well. So yeah, give us the reasoning for that.
So for the Gotham's Econ, I would swap in a 7 tools of the Bandit, which is starting to become my new, like one of my new favorite cards, because that card literally pushes through like the Solemns. It also stops Waboku in the Glad matchup, stops the TG stuff from happening, the swap. and also Horn of the Phantom Beast. I just think Seven Tools is very good. We have the third space in the side deck, in case you play against like Decree or some weird lock deck or weird burn stuff. But yeah, we don't need a Dust Tornado. I think Seven Tools way better if you're committing a fourth card for back row removal, because that card is good in against like the aggro control decks like TG and GB that just catches them off guard, and it will win you the game probably a lot of the time. Then we have the Random Thunder King. I can't take out many of my monsters actually. In my opinion, the monsters you see are very, very powerful and extremely good. And to be quite honest, I would like to cut one like literal monster card from my main deck and put in another defensive card, because sometimes my hands are a little bit monster heavy. But I think the monsters you see there are just too important, and I'm not going to cut a monster. So you could argue that why don't you cut the second Reaper? So about the Reaper, it's too important for this deck, for the game plan. It could get Deprisoned, it could get Chaos and Trishula, so there are too many risks, so you always want to have access to that card. So I'm not going to cut anything. And the one Thunder King, I might swap a Spirit Reaper out for the Thunder King, uh, post side, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't really cut anything else, so only one Thunder King. To be quite honest with you, I don't want to draw multiples of that card. And you also had questions about the three Leeching Delights and Scapegoat. So Agent is such a bad matchup that you need to put in Silver Bullets just to beat it. Game one is very bad. I think it's 35 to 65 matchup probably. And past game two, it will be 60 to 40 maybe in my favor, because I put in the Core Destroyer, Leechings, and the Scapegoats. I will also put in a Thunder King in that matchup actually. So the Leeching the Lights and the Scapegoat. The Scapegoat will be set most of the time just to survive the next turn. And then hopefully you will have one Scapegoat left. One will be usually enough. If you summon like Tour Guide or Stack for Plague, you have multiple ways to get multiple monsters on the field, so one token will be sufficient most of the time. If you have two, then it's just over, So the Scapegoat lets you survive against the agents, and it lets you kill them with the leeching.
Okay, so yeah, you go for Scapegoats and Fest and then turn then into
Yeah.
attack and go for leeching. All right, Necro. So we have to finish our first video together now. So we are both going to be back on this channel. So if you guys want to join the Tengu Plant Town, then make sure to subscribe and of course join our Discord. Anyway, that was it. Photo shooty and you, Necro, of course. We're both out. See you soon.
Bye bye.